This is going to be my second video, and I decided to do something kind of interesting. So, I don't really want to make any of my videos or anything on this channel political, but I live in the state of Georgia, and I don't know if you're aware or if you care. You probably don't, and that's okay. But there was a very important election in our state a couple of days ago, and so all of the news media and all of the news stations and all of the news everywhere, Georgia was kind of in the spotlight for a couple of days, which is not typically the norm. So I thought it would be really cool. Also, I don't have a pop filter on the microphone today, so you may notice a little bit of like pop, like that, crackling noises, and that's just how this is gonna be. So I'm very sorry. I'm just doing a little bit of testing to make sure that everything is working properly. Anyway, so with all of that being said, a couple of days ago I asked all of my Facebook friends what they thought the most southern sounding towns in Georgia were, like the names of the towns, like which town names, because Georgia is in the south. So, and like 200 people, there's like 200 comments on this this post about Georgia towns. So I thought it would be really cool if I just kind of went down the list and like named or said all of the names of the towns that people commented. Some of these are going to be really weird, and others you may recognize, and some you're going to be like, what? And then some of them, there's a lot of stigma around how you pronounce some of the names of these towns, and people who live here have a different way of doing it versus people who don't live here. So a lot of times they get it wrong, and we kind of think that's silly and funny. Now, I'm from one of the towns that I will be talking about. Typically I would have more of a southern drawl than I do, and when I say some of these town names, you may notice that my southern drawl comes out a little bit more than normal. I try to cover it up because I think I just sound better if I don't have that. I think it's good, and I think a lot of people enjoy hearing a southern accent, and I do have a legitimate one. Like if you watch a lot of TV shows, you'll notice that a lot of these southern accents sound they're not really, if I were to just kind of talk in my normal voice, it's really hard to do it while you're trying to talk slow. I don't know if I'm talking slow enough, but you may notice if I start doing too much talking that the southern drawl will come out, and I'm exaggerating a little bit right now because that's just what you do when you're trying to show people what a southern accent sounds like. But it isn't all Gone with the Wind sounding all the time. It's more of just a slow, you know what I mean. If you've ever been to the South, then you've heard some legitimate Southern accents, and what you hear on TV is not really that all the time. Anyhow, so with all that in mind, let's start on this list. Now, if you got any suggestions for town names that I don't list in this list, then feel free to post those in the comments. There goes my microphone popping again. I think I'm going to have to end up using the pop filter, and I'm real sad about that, but it is what it is. Now, but yeah, post those in the comment. If you like what you see, drop me a like or a subscribe, and maybe I'll post some more videos of me talking real slow and whispering and stuff. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm gonna say them one at a time, and I might talk about them just a little bit. There's a lot of them, so I don't want to spend too much time on each of them. Okay, the first one is Ocilla. Ocilla, Georgia. That's how you pronounce it. Adel. There's a car dealership commercial that I think is pretty funny, from Adel, and they're always talking about how they bought their car or truck in Adel, baby. That's how they say it. Next is Manor. It's spelled Manor. Someone's trying to talk to me on Reddit. I should probably turn my notifications off, but we're just kind of doing this on the fly. Okay. Uvalde, spelled Uvalda. Uvalde. I've never been to Uvalde. Have you been to Uvalde? If you have, post in the comments below. Let's see. Alston, is that how it's pronounced? I'm not really sure if it's Alston or Alston. Alston, Alston, Now, I'm going to tell you a little secret. This next one is where I was born. Well, no, I wasn't actually born there. It's where I grew up. I was born somewhere else. But the town is called Ashburn. Ashburn. It's two words. Ash and burn. It is on Highway 41, just off I-75. That is not where I currently live, so don't try to come find me. Alright. Next, we got Lizella. This is one of my favorites. I just like the way it sounds. Lizella, Georgia. Next, we have Pitts, which is a really tiny town. I don't even think it's really a town. I think it's like unincorporated. I might be wrong about that. But, like, literally, it's the Pitts. Rhine, Georgia. Rhine. I don't know what they have in Rhine, Georgia. Ball ground. Roystonville. I've never been to Roystonville either. Hepzibah. Hepzibah. Spelled Hepzibah. Hepzibah. That's a weird one. This is another favorite of mine. Hayhira. Hayhira, Georgia. Come on down. Let's go to Hayhira, Georgia. What's Hayhira known for? I really don't know. Quitman. Sorry about that. Quitman. That's making my microphone sound weird. Quitman. Lumber City. Lumber City. Lumber City. I wonder if they have lumber in Lumber City. Yulee. 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 Spelled Y-U-L-E-E. If I'm mispronouncing any of these names and you live in one of these towns, by all means correct me in the comments below, because we want to make sure all these are said correctly. Alright, where do we leave off? Chula. 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 That sounds like an interesting one. I have definitely been to Chula. Valdosta. Valdosta, which is really close to Florida. Florida. If you're from Georgia, you say Florida. If you're from Florida, you say Florida. That's what I hear anyway. There's a theme park in Valdosta that I've been to on many occasions called Wild Adventures. They have a roller coaster there called it might be called something else now, but when I rode it, it was called the Hangman. And fun fact, I actually rode this roller coaster when it was in another theme park in Tennessee called Opryland, and it was called the Hangman there, and then they moved it to Wild Adventure. So I've ridden it in 2 different theme parks. Just a fun fact for you. And now Valdosta is also Wild Adventures, the theme park. If you've seen the movie Zombieland, much of the scenes near the end when they're in the theme park is shot at Wild Adventures. And I've also ridden the Double Shot, which is the ride that they feature in Zombieland. So Valdosta is kind of cool. Next we have Tai, which I have been to Tai, and I want to say they're known for like flower nurseries and like plants and things. It's like a lot of these towns are like farming sort of towns, and they have a lot of people who do they raise crops and different sorts of livestock and things like that. And you see my southern accent has sort of gone away, even though it's going to come back in a few minutes when I start saying more of these, like Snailville. Now, I used to live in Snailville, and I enjoyed my time there quite a lot. I actually liked it quite a bit. It's one of my favorite places that I've ever lived. And a lot of people are going to be like, I can't believe you just said that, because I hate Snellville, and I don't know why you would hate Snellville. It's called Snellville. But they had everything there. They had Taco Bell. They had Del Taco. They had a cookout. And they had... That was pretty much it, but it was a cool place, and I liked living there. Now, I don't know if people are particularly fond of the fact that they live in a place called Butts County. But that is a real place in Georgia called Butts. Maybe there's a lot of butts there. I don't know. I like big butts, and I cannot lie about that. Now, next, we have Dixie Union. I don't know if you can get any more southern than that. That's pretty southern if you ask me. Also, if you think that one of these is more southern, if you think it's the most southern, then let us know in the comments, because I want to know which of these that you think is the most southern. Next, let's see, we have Balls Ferry. Balls Ferry. I think we're only halfway through with these. I'm very sorry. This is going to take a while. All right, here's another one of my favorites. Willacoochee. Let me back off, because that was pretty messed up. Willacoochee. Willacoochee. I probably shouldn't say it that way. That just makes it have a whole different sort of meaning, and then we don't really want to go there, I don't think. That is a good one. I have definitely been to Willacoochee. Gumlog. I don't know what's in Gumlog. Okay. This next one, I was honestly, when the person commented this name, I was like, there's no way that that's a real place. But again, we do have a town called Butts, or a county called Butts, so it shouldn't be that surprising that there is a place in Georgia called Hope You Like It. Literally, Hope You Like It. Spelled HOPEULIKIT. Hope You Like It. That's literally a real place. I don't know who decided that was a good name for a town, but here we are. If you've ever been to Hope You Like It, I hope you like this video. Okay. This next one, I think I'm skipping names. This one, I don't really like saying this one. It's almost offensive. Get your minds out of the gutter. But there is a town in Georgia called Cumming, spelled Cumming. Cumming. We'll just keep moving. Irwinville. Here's another town that I used to live in for about 8 years. And a lot of the southern things that I know came from people. I still have a lot of friends there. And that town is called Cordele. The watermelon capital of the world is what they're known for. The country song Watermelon Crawl, I believe, was written specifically about Cordele. They have a watermelon festival every year, and I lived there for quite some time, and there's not much there other than like a movie theater. Then there's a Walmart. Buena Vista, spelled Buena Vista. Not Buena Vista, but Buena Vista. That's how the locals pronounce it. Buena Vista. Next we have Unadilla. Next is Bogart. I've never heard of Bogart, but apparently that's a town in Georgia. Next we got Barneyville. I wonder if any purple dinosaurs live there. This next one, I'm very interested to know if the town or if there are any relation to Cumming, Georgia, and that is Climax, Georgia. Moving right along. The next one on the list is Hiram, Georgia. Next we have Cedartown, Calhoun, Dalton, Hawkinsville. They have dog greyhound racing in Hawkinsville. I think it's greyhounds. It might be horses. I'm not sure. Is it horses? Maybe someone can confirm whether or not it is dogs that they race or horses in Hawkinsville. I don't think they race anything in Mossy Creek or in Milan. Is it pronounced Millen or Milan? Spelled M-I-L-A-N, Millen or Milan? Not sure. Cuthbert. Come on down to Cuthbert. I like to eat my Vienna sausages from Vienna, Georgia. I don't think they have Vienna sausage in Vienna, but there is a town called Vienna, and that is the home of another festival called the Big Pig Jig. The Big Pig Jig, which I have been to before, and it's basically just a giant barbecue cooking competition. They have music and people like to get hammered there. But that is in Vienna, Georgia, which is very close to Cordele, Georgia. Next we have Carrollton. And next we have the home of the syrup makers, which is their football team, the Cairo syrup makers, not to be confused with the Egyptian country. It might be a country called Cairo. It is spelled exactly the same, C-A-I-R-O, but here in Georgia it is pronounced Cairo, Georgia. Next we have Donaldsonville. A lot of villes in Georgia. If you know that a town is southern in Georgia, if it's just someone's name with ville on the end of it, and there's a lot of those in Georgia. Blairsville, Thomasville, Milledgeville. You get the gist. If you've ever had fruitcake on Christmas before, there is a high probability that fruitcake came from Claxton, Georgia, which is home of the fruitcake. There's a fruitcake factory in Claxton, which I have been to. Next on the list is Dudley. I don't really know where I'm looking. Am I looking at the lens? I think I am. We'll find out later. Next we have Alapahaw. This is a good one. Alapahaw. Spelled A-L-A-P-A-H-A. Alapahaw. I don't know where it comes from. I just think it sounds cool. Next we have Bainbridge, which may or may not be close to Moultrie, Georgia. Moultrie is kind of close to the next town on the list called Tifton, which I worked at for quite some time delivering rugs to a prison. Next, we've got Loganville. Loganville. Tatnall. Tatnall. Jessup. Jessup. Jessup's kind of close to the coast, over near Jekyll Island and St. Simon's Island. So if you want to go to the beach, maybe you'll go over to St. Simon's Island. Or Waycross. Waycross, Georgia. Waycross. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to pronounce this next one, but Armurchie, Armurchie, Armuchee, and I'm told the locals pronounce it Armurchie. I don't know if that's right or not. I've never heard of this town. Next one is called Cleto, spelled Clito, Cleto. Then we got, okay, we're going to take a little extra time on this one because there is a lot of debate about how this particular town is pronounced. And depending on where you're from, you might think you know how it's pronounced. Albany. That is the correct pronunciation. Albany, Georgia. It is spelled Albany, which is the exact same spelling of another town in New York, which is pronounced completely different. Here in Georgia, we pronounce it Albany. Albany. Not Albany. Albany. We're going to go down to the Albany Mall or the Albany Flea Market. I used to work in Albany, and I used to play a lot of shows when I was in a band at a place called The Lot that was in Albany, and the State Theater, and a lot of other places. Mellow Mushroom. There's a Mellow Mushroom everywhere. Next, we got Flowvilla. Flowvilla. And we got Pooler, Georgia. I don't remember who even suggested this one, but I was too close. Pooler, Georgia. Pooler. It's cooler in Pooler. A lot of these places have really cheesy catchphrases like it's cooler in Pooler, or it's greater in Decatur. That's another one, Decatur. Decatur, Georgia. I think I already said Milledgeville. And so we also have another weird one called Sautee-Nakuchee. Sautee-Nakuchee. I don't even know where this is, but it's spelled Sautee-Nakuchie. Sautee-Nakuchee. Next we have LaGrange, Rex, Menlo, Vidalia, home of the Vidalia onions. So if you've ever had those sort of sweet onions, you know, most onions are kind of bitter, but there's a specific type of onion that comes out of Vidalia, Georgia, called the Vidalia onion. You've probably had one before. That's what they are most famous for, Vidalia. It's not Vidalia, it's Vidalia. Next, we got Americus, and I think my refrigerator just came on, and I keep forgetting to turn that off for some reason. Americus, not America. Americus. Hog Mountain. Hog Mountain. I've never been to Hog Mountain before. Hog Mountain. I wonder where Hog Mountain is. We're almost to the end, so hopefully the fact that my mini fridge just came on, it's not going to be too distracting. Next we have Rabun County. And another one that people like to mispronounce. Dacula, spelled D-A-C-U-L-A. Dacula. I used to think it was pronounced Dacula because it sort of looks like Dracula without the R. Dacula, but that is not correct. People around here call it Dacula. Or Dacula. It's one of those two. The last movie that I shot, we shot about 80% of it in a really tiny town that's almost in Alabama called Tallapoosa. This is the reason why I need my pop filter, because those P's are just killing me. Tallapoosa. 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 Not much in Tallapoosa. Another town that I grew up in, Rebecca, Georgia. I don't know who Rebecca is, but that is the name of the town. We're getting very close to the end. I'm sure this is not all of the towns in Georgia. This is a lot of them, but not all of them. Next, we've got Amboy. And Seaville. Lambstown. I don't know why I wanted to say that one 3 times. Doerun. D-O-E-R-U-N. Doerun. There's a church in Doerun. There's probably churches lots of places, but there's definitely one in Doerun. Canton, Georgia. Canton. I think there were a lot of people in line trying to vote in Canton a couple of days ago. Next we have Ludowici, spelled L-U-D-O-W-I-C-I. You would think that would be pronounced Ludowici, but it is not pronounced Ludowici. It is pronounced Ludowici. And if that is not right, someone can correct me. Next, we have Texas. Yes, you heard me right. Texas. There is a town in Georgia called Texas. Zebulon. I think it's just Zebulon. Zebulon. And the last two. We're down to the last two. I don't know how long it's been. Seems like it's been a long time. Maybe it's been only a few minutes. I don't know. The last two. Lumpkin, Georgia. I have been to Lumpkin, Georgia. I don't remember anything about it. And the last one on my list, because these were in no particular order whatsoever, is Winder, Georgia. Winder. I don't know if they have wine there or people like to whine. I don't know. All right. So, that is all of the names that I have. Those are a large amount of town names in Georgia. Which one do you think sounds the most Southern? Post it in the comments below. I don't know what my next video is going to be about, but it's always going to be weird. Very similar to how this was probably very weird, and if I weirded you out, then I did my job. So, until next time, if you think that this is weird enough for you to want to see more of, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I will see you next time.